Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 24 of albums that are 40 years old in 2025. We've been doing it each and every day this month in February. There's 28 days in the month, of course. We have picked out together our 28 favorite albums celebrating their 40th birthdays and anniversaries from 1985. Pretty damn good year for music. But we are getting down to the nitty gritty, right? Today's the 24th, 28th is just a couple days away. On Saturday, March 1st, we go to 1995. But that's a few days away. We'll get to that shortly. So today, for my pick for today, this is the debut studio album from this German band, released in October 1985. Recorded at Kayet Studio in Berlin, Germany. Produced by Horst Müller for Noise Records. I'm talking about the German Kings of Thrash, Creator, Endless Pain. That's right. This is the kind of hard book reissue, remaster of this, which came out in, what was it, 2011? 2017? I can't even read that. It's like microscopic, something like that. 2017 or 2011. One of the two, right? Creator, long career. Lots of albums, well respected. One of the top three of the German thrash legends alongside Destruction and Sodom, right? They make up the German contingent of this thrash movement in the mid 80s. You had the kind of like the West Coast, the Bay Area. You had the East Coast, the New York, New Jersey crew, and you had the Germans. Those were like the big three of areas of thrash in the world at the time. You had others, right? You get South America and a few other places, but for the most part, that's where it was really happening in Germany and two different coasts here in the States. So on the album, we have Mille Petrosa, founding member, long-standing member on guitars and vocals, Rob Fioretti on bass, and Jurgen, otherwise known as Ventor Real, on drums and vocals as well. So what do we have on this killer album, which I remember buying back in the day and thinking, holy cow, that's a little bit different, a little bit more extreme than what was going on here in the States. And yeah, that's basically Creator, Destruction, and Sodom. All three of them kind of took the early thrash that was going on here in the States, and to an extent like what was happening with Venom and Celtic Frost as well, right? But doing their own thing. And in a lot of ways, a lot of what was happening on these German thrash albums, you started to hear this sort of thing pop up in those early death and black metal bands, right? So Endless Pain starts it off, killer title track. All these songs are really killer, and there's some just staples of the early part of the catalog on this album. Total Death, Storm of the Beast, killer. Tormentor is one of their most well-known songs, and just an amazing track, and just under 3 minutes long. It's funny how like some of these songs on this album are just so brief yet so jagged. The guitar riffs are just fast and furious, a lot of tremolo pick stuff. It's somewhat technical but not overly, and the drumming just speed metal drums throughout the whole thing, and his Millie's just very different vocal style to what he has now. Early back in the day, like I said, very much kind of more in line with what we started to hear on the black metal scene. They're more of those kind of harsh type of screams and whatever you want to call it, but really cool. Son of Evil is up next. Over on side 2 of the original vinyl, we got Flag of Hate, another killer song from them. Cry War, Bone Breaker, Living in Fear, and of course Dying Victims to finish it all off. And it's nonstop pummeling, just so good. And we've did a whole ranking the albums episode on Creator sometime last year, which I think was loads and loads of fun. And it's just amazing, like for this band, you have like the early part of the catalog, so great and so influential. The middle part of the catalog, there's a couple dips and strange things happening, and then the latter part of the catalog has been really great as well. Although the band kind of like I don't want to say softening up their sound at all, because they really haven't, but it's not as like kind of like fast and furious and ferocious as the early part of the catalog. but they've become a little bit more catchy, not needing to do the ultra fast stuff anymore. Millie's vocals, like I said, have taken on a much, much more approachable kind of tone for many people. And but I think it's just as there's just so much charm to be found and so much kick-ass thrash metal in this catalog, regardless of which era you kind of like. I know a lot of people that I know who are hardcore metal fans, and they love the early part of the Creator catalog, and they really don't listen to much of the latter period. Whereas I know a lot of people who love the latter period because that's when they kind of came in, but the early stuff is maybe just a little too intense for them. So I get both sides. I like it all, to be honest with you. There's a couple albums in the middle that I don't really get into all that much, but the beginning of the catalog and the latter part of the catalog, lots of greatness there. So, yeah. Of course, like I said, underground metal stuff here, so I don't have any charting stuff or certifications. But like I said, if you go read that these guys were highly influential on what would to become like the whole black metal scene, and no doubt Celtic Frost, Bathory, Merciful Fate, Venom, very, very influential on Creator, more so than what was going on here in the U.S., although later in the decade, in the 80s and certainly into the very early 90s, with the big success of bands like Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth, you would start to see the influence of the U.S. scene creeping into their music, perhaps due to record label pressure, because Creator were signed to a major label at the time. You would start to hear more of kind of like a Metallica and U.S. thrash influence on Creator for a couple of albums, right? Even though in the beginning there was none of that really. They obviously influenced by some of the bands I just mentioned. So yeah, that's my pick for today. Creator, Endless Pain. Definitely some classics on here. If you've never heard this album, just go listen to Tormentor, Flag of Hate, and then title track Endless Pain. That'll just get you started right away. But it's such a short album. I mean, it's barely 30 minutes. You could easily go and digest this all in one sitting pretty quickly. So, yeah, great stuff. Let us know what you think of Endless Pain by Creator down in the comments below. But more importantly, your pick for today, day number 23. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 25. All right, just a couple days left. I got to get my list for 95 finished. I've not done yet. I've been so busy doing all sorts of other things. I need to do that tonight. So, yeah, that'll get put together. So I'll be ready for you on Saturday. Don't you worry. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and of course the Sea of Tranquility membership options, all listed down below the video description. Thanks for everybody who does support the channel in those fashions. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff on the channel coming up. We've got, we'll finish out the rest of this week. It's going to be kind of a little light week of programming. I do have some things. I should hopefully have a listening room for you later today or tonight. That is coming up. I know Chris Canzaneri is also going to do a listening room. I definitely want to show off the stuff I got at Princeton Record Exchange yesterday and a bunch of other things. So that'll be happening this week. And I'm sure a couple of other odds and ends will pop up, right? So it's the end of the month. But of course, next week we got Hudson Valley Squares, 4 Fusion Friday. We got Martin Popoff and I later in the week. So yeah, there's stuff happening. So see you then. All right. Take care. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching.